All right, hey people, this is Chris Lucas. This is it's May 12th, 2021. I just got off work and um I just want to make kind of a quick video before I went to sleep. Um basically, um and I normally don't talk about cryptocurrency on my other channels. I got this going across three YouTube channels I got because I don't know. I kind of think it brushes into all three categories of things I talk about. I do have a crypto channel that no one really knows about because I don't really promote it. And I really rarely got time to do videos. Um, but there's this new product out, a new token, and in case you don't know what, you're not too familiar with cryptocurrency. Um, Basically, it's like Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the ones you probably heard of, Dogecoin. Um, so it's like, the other day, something caught many people by surprise, because one of the things people do when they trade crypto or buy crypto is a lot of times they'll go search coin market cap, almost daily. And the oddest thing that popped up was this one out of I mean, like everyone's like, "Whoa, what's this? How did this one get here so fast?" Because if you look at the market cap, this is how much money's got to be invested into something before it even goes up to the top eight. And so normally, um, when a project first gets released, I mean, it's normally around maybe a 10, maybe every once in a while $50 million market cap. But I mean, most of the time it's just between about maybe sometimes it's only about $2 or $3 million to $15 million. So for something to just kind of get released and no one like had ever heard about, most people hadn't didn't know about what ICP was, Internet Computer. And I was like, wow, that's kind of a weird name. You just call your token Internet Computer, and then we look at it and we're like, whoa, this has already got a $42 billion market cap. I mean, that took a lot of people by surprise. And just to give you an idea, I mean, like Bitcoin's got $1 trillion market cap. Ethereum's second biggest one's got about a $500 million one. Binance, which is the largest exchange, has $100 billion one. Dogecoin has a ridiculous 64 billion. I just cannot get over like it having that large a one. And then Cardano, which basically has like you know uh, I guess like you would say a lot of the continent of Africa invested into it. And then just to have this one pop up out of nowhere when it's so new. And I mean, I guess this is uh, I'm someone who doesn't kind of thinks everything was kind of planned, as far as like the whole event that happened last year. When you go um event 201, and it's kind of really weird that what was his name? Mullis, the guy who invented the PCR test, dies um a couple of months before the whole corona thing happens. And that PCR test is what they use to, you know, make it look like there's a pandemic, and people accuse the whole PCR test of being falsified, having false positives used to cook the books. And so, and now it's like, as I'm investing into crypto, one of the problems that there is like, now that Ethereum is like $4,000 for like a single coin of it, they got this thing called gas fees. And what it is whenever you do a transfer or something on the Ethereum network, you got to pay gas. Well, when Ethereum was cheap, it was no problem. But now that it's like $4,000 every time you do a transaction, you might, I mean, I think it's like, I haven't done a transaction on Ethereum in a while. I thought paying like $40, $50 was a lot. I can't even imagine what it could be now because that was like a month ago. And I mean, it's got to be like, I mean, is it like $100 now? I mean, I have no idea, but you could see how this could be a problem because someone, like, I invested into this one cryptocurrency. It looked really good. Um, and it was like it revolved around games. Problem was, it's built on Ethereum's network, and when Ethereum's price went up, it's like people couldn't even play the game because it wasn't worth it. Because the NFT you got to play the game was only worth a dollar or two, and that's great, to pay for that, and get that reward. But in order to get that reward, if you got to pay like $30 to transfer it, it wasn't worth it. And I can't even imagine what it would cost now to get that same NFT transferred to you. Okay, so basically, I lost probably about $500, that I invested into this crypto because no one's going to ever use this unless they transfer it to another blockchain or fix Ethereum. I already lost that money. So I think so right now you see Ethereum at an all-time high. I think it's real convenient, if not calculated, that they just happen to release Internet Computer, right? Which would be a solution to all this. I mean, right as people are like, wow, these gas fees are just too much. Like they were already like pushing it like a month or two ago. A lot of people were like, wow, man, I'm kind of like, I don't like paying these fees, but at least I get to, buy this token early on the blockchain, and get it before it hits the exchanges. That's kind of what people were thinking, as soon as a project gets released, well, if I buy it, off an exchange, I might have to pay Ethereum gas fee, but I'll eat that $25 just to get that project early and invest in it. But now it's like, I mean, it's pretty much only people with money could do that kind of thing now because it's like, if you got that extra 100 to spare, right? So I just think it's really weird that Internet Computer comes out right as like this problem's occurring. And in my opinion, I think it's real calculated. And it's like, so what is Internet Computer? Could have probably made this video better, Oh, what did I do with that link? No. I think this is, yeah, let me.
Today is a very special day. It's the official launch of the Internet Computer. After 5 years of intense research and development, we finally came here and we're really excited. So congrats to the team. Congrats to the community. So we have a really cool episode, Evan.
Yeah, we're going to be running through some of our favorite clips and giving some of the commentary on it. It was a long event, and I'm sure in the coming days it'll all be released sporadically, but we're going to just take a few short clips and tell us everything, especially of what's new and what it means for the community in simple terms. And so we'll probably jump right into that here, and we'll show you the clips directly in video.
Cool.
So we'll start off with the first one. So an introduction to the Internet Computer for those of you who probably just heard about it because they're really excited about the coin release. Here's a little elevator pitch for what the Internet Computer is.
A limitless blockchain that runs at web speed and can host all of humanity's software and data. The Internet was only a global network until now. Now, the Internet Computer extends the web's functionality into a public compute platform.
When Genesis occurs, the Internet Computer project will take another step forward, and blockchain will take a giant leap forward. The Internet Computer redefines public blockchain as a platform, as one that can now run smart contracts at web speed, that can serve web directly to users, that can increase its capacity with demand as needed, that is efficient, that governs itself, and that can provide better usability than those systems built on traditional technology.
Okay, well, that was a really nice intro from Dominic Williams. For people that have been part of the community for a number of years, we've seen these kind of intros before, but for somebody new, it's a nice overview on what the Internet Computer is, a nice, a 1-minute pitch of it. What was your take on it?
Yeah, it's really hard. So those of us who've been following DFINITY for years.
I'm just going to stop it for a second because I don't know. I mean, is it me or does that look like an owl? And I don't know, man. Like, I guess I'm like, there's part of me that was kind of excited because I did buy a little bit of this, and I was like, you know what? I could see this becoming the #1 coin, like overtaking Bitcoin, right? And Ethereum. I could see this coin maybe in 2 years or less becoming the #1 coin. I could see people. I can't say, I mean, I'm not saying this will happen, but I could see people getting rid of their Bitcoin and Ethereum and just buying this one or buying into this one more. And it looks like a great technology. And I mean, they sound like they're just trying to decentralize things, make things freer. But I'm always like, is that what they sell you? But it's not really that. And because I guess I've always wondered, it's like, really, this just came out right during this so-called pandemic, right? It just happens to come out. It just happens to be ready right as Ethereum gas fees are so high that it makes Ethereum almost worthless to use. And because I know a lot of people, like, they just want to, like, they see that something's built on Ethereum. A lot of people are starting to, or at least people I know, are kind of like bypassing it just because it's like, wow, I don't want to pay the gas fees. If there's products and NFTs that are being built on it, the gas fees are just gonna kill the projects. I mean, that's what people are legitimately worried about. I know there's like projects no one would invest in because you had to pay Ethereum gas fees just to buy it. And now with the gas fees this high, I'm pretty sure they're even more reluctant than ever. And I'm just like, wow, the timing, the timing's incredible. I mean, it just comes, this had to come out right as Ethereum's at an all-time high. I just, it just seems too calculated to me. Just like I really believe everything that happens is planned several years in advance. I just kind of tend to wonder if this is a world government kind of thing. I mean, it's just so big to have this many billions of dollars into it. I mean, like, but the whole world all locked itself down and all went along with, this whole, I'll just say it, a virus, right? That doesn't seem that much worse than the flu. Like, because I think if people really did care, me as a essential worker and other people who are essential workers, we would have got that extra pay that everybody else got for staying home. I mean, why not give us a bonus for risking our lives, right? Or being forced to risk our lives, because we kind of had a gun put to our head and was told that we had to work because we're not going to get the money. Because if we try to quit our job, because we're scared of Corona. We're not going to get paid. So we better go to work and let everyone else just stay home and, hang out with their children. And well, meanwhile, I'm working, not seeing my kids. And, none of these people staying at home ever worried about us being out there working. Like, hey, why don't we give these guys some extra pay? They're actually risking their life, right? Because this is so deadly. But see, it's like, there's some kind of disconnect there, because if this is so deadly, why aren't you more concerned for us? Why aren't you pushing for us to get pay? And it's like, okay, I had to work out in this environment for 2 months, no mask, and now you're trying to force me to wear a mask? No, thank you. I won't wear it. That's why I have an attitude about that whole mask thing. No, I didn't have one. You guys wouldn't even uh, push for people like me to get extra pay for hazardous, like heroes pay. Whatever happened to heroes pay, right? So let's not kid ourselves. This lockdown had nothing to do with trying to save people. There was still, what was it, almost like 10 million people that died of starvation last year in the whole world. Okay, I don't think 10 million people died of Corona, but yet 10 million people started it. Why didn't we feed those people? Like, don't kid yourself, folks. It's calculated. And I mean, I'm not saying that this project is like a bad project or something, but like, I have a lot of skepticism. I mean, I don't even know how I feel about even owning it, because it's like I ran out and bought, tokens of it, and then I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I actually trust it. I mean, I would hope that the whole reason why I even got into this crypto stuff is because I got kicked off of YouTube. I had to create 10 channels. I mean, anyone who's kind of new to me, I mean, see if I want to switch accounts. Look at all these accounts I got. Why do I got so many accounts? Because I'm suspended a lot, and those are just the channels I still have. I've lost a couple of channels that are just completely deleted. That just happens to be the few channels I do have left. All of them have been at maximum strikes that you just saw up there. Just about all of them have had like 2 to 3 strikes. And yeah, some of them got, I know your third strike, you're supposed to be gone, right? Well, I got a warning and then 2 strikes. And then some of them did actually get a third strike, but the first strike had already disappeared. I think maybe one time YouTube took down a video and they gave me a strike initially. I complained about it, but they kept the video down but took the strike away. So, and and it was just about open conversation. So when I got into all this, it wasn't so I could get rich and drive a Lambo like a lot of these other people talk. I was sitting in a chat room, and this guy, I just know it's like Rover was doing a show. He asked everyone in the chat room. He goes, "Hey, what does everyone want to do?" And most of them were just saying they want to drive Lambos and all this other like kind of selfish stuff. It's like, you know what? I got into this because I was trying to come up with a solution to help fix things, to help, free speech and all that. So I bought Theta, because I was like looking into solutions. I found Live Peer. It looked a little complicated. Oh, I found Theta, right? It already had an app that I could already use to stream videos from. I was like, hey, this is cool. It works for me. So I bought a little bit too. Next thing I know, it doubles. And then it's like, oh, you can actually make money pretty quick off of this. I had no idea. Because I just kind of bought it for something like long term and didn't expect that I would have. I think I increased my money by about 60% profit or something, which I've wound up in the past maybe a week and a half. I managed to lose all that profit plus some. So I think I'm like down to I might have lost at least $2,000 just messing around with crypto. Um, but a lot of it's just like dumb mistakes, rushing into things. Um, like I bought into a company trying to get in early because I was like, oh, well, if you get in early, um, because that's normally, sometimes you can make good money if you get into something early when you're one of the first people there, and then it's released, and then everyone else starts trading for that token, and the next thing you know, your money's like tripled and doubled. I managed to get in on projects that were like a year away from hitting the market. So I learned my lesson there. That's like $400 that's gone because I got into a project that's probably like a year or two away from being released. And then I jumped into another one that was like an NFT gaming product that was built on Ethereum, and now the gas fees destroyed it. So I lost $500 with that. And then I got into some kind of yield farming thing because it had a high interest rate, and it's like, oh, if you have a BNB and like basically it's like some kind of swap token. um I don't know, people that don't get into crypto, I'm not going to like get too complicated. I just kind of was like, but basically these like liquidity pools where you try to add liquidity, and I learned you never do these like liquidity pairs. That's how you get burned. And I go to before I go to sleep, I'm like, wow, I'm I'm up. I'm up by about $100. Get back up in the morning, and I'm like, okay, I'm still up. I'm ahead. It looks like I'm ahead by $150 at midnight while I'm at work. Hey, I'm up $500. I come home, I'm down 1,000. So that's like $1,500 swing in a matter of 4 to 5 hours. So I'm not really, I'm not going to explain how a liquidity pool works, but I tell you what, man, don't be careful about those. Those like yield farms and liquidity pools. Please watch videos before you ever invest in one of those. Hello, viewer. I'm not sure what channel you're on. I'm broadcasting on like 3 different channels, but just talking about basically my main topic is this Internet Computer token that just got launched a few days ago. Basically, it's how I think it's a very odd token, that's for sure. And if you look at it, I know this could have been a better video, but I guess the things that made me excited was like I saw that a decentralized social media platform which is safe from censorship. So I'm like, man, that sounds really good. And then I kind of get worried because I don't know, it's a decentralized professional social media network. It's that's what District is. It is the open LinkedIn application shown off by Definity and Davos at the World Economic Forum 2020. So it's like when I see things that even associate with the World Economic Forum, I get a little concerned. Anyone that's really researched this whole scam-demic understands what I see, but I mean, I don't know. These are just my thoughts, man. I just thought I'd kind of throw this one out there for people to look at. But I mean, this has got some heavy investors. Um, I don't know. I really think this token, though, it should be the #1 token within maybe a year or two. I know that sounds crazy to say, but with the way Ethereum is and its crazy gas fees, oh, this thing happened to come along at the perfect time. I actually think they calculated it, though. I really think they calculated that if crypto ever got a certain popularity, that Ethereum would be almost worthless because you couldn't do anything on it because the fees would be too high. And so out comes the solution, Internet Computer, which would have cheaper gas fees or no gas fees. All right. So, yeah, Internet Computer is the world's first blockchain that runs at web speed with unbounded capacity. It represents the third major blockchain innovation alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum. So third major blockchain innovation, and actually the best one from everything it looks like to me. A blockchain computer that scales smart contract computation and data, runs them at web speed, processes and stores data efficiently, and provides powerful software frameworks to developers. By making this possible, the Internet Computer enables complete reimagination of software. Yeah, it's all these terms, reimagination. Don't think I like. The one thing is when I go to their site. Oh, let's see here. There's something curious about their site I saw. It's actually a really nice site. But man, like most of these projects do not have a team like this. Nowhere near it. See, I just, reinventing the internet. Just kind of the internet as we know it needs a complete replacement. I mean, I don't know. I just really hope that this is for people's good, right? But I'm just so skeptical, man, with everything that's went on within this past year. I'm really skeptical that something like this was allowed to exist if it's actually going to be for our freedom. I mean, I guess we'll see. I mean, we had this orange man for president that pretty much betrayed everybody's trust, and people were too stupid to see it. Because, it's like, how is it that the guy who spends 10 trillion on the flu, the guy that signed the emergency declaration, which allowed for the creation of warp speed and also signed warp speed, is supposed to be the guy that saves you from the lockdown and saves you from warp speed? Doesn't make sense, And there's so many weird things that happened this past year. Like, you think about the Democrats, man. It's like, I tried telling all my Democrat friends back in December and very early January. I was like, man, dude, I kind of wonder if we need to close the borders down. and they call me a xenophobe and stuff, and and I guess, and I'm like, really, dude? Did you see? Like, look what's going on in China, and it's like, oh, you're just a xenophobe, you're just racist, and I'm like, dude, like, I don't even like Donald Trump. Okay, like he put in a bunch of deep state, and here I got my these like friends of mine, people I know saying, trying to imply that I'm a xenophobe and racist because I want to shut the border down. Next thing it's like here comes February, and I'm like, you know what? You just can't control this. It's just too late. And if one person can do all that in China, geez, I mean, can you really, like, how can you stop this? It's just going to happen, but not everybody dies from it. It looks like most people survive unless they're really frail and have comorbidities. Doesn't look like it really like kills healthy people, unless you got to have something wrong with you for the most part. So it's not that deadly. And I was still a little bit scared, because it's like, still didn't know quite what it was, but it looked to me like, okay, I mean, maybe you got like a 1 out of 10 chance of dying, but you just really can't lock the world down because there's no way to stop it, right? And I mean, to me, that was the logical thing. Now, yeah, now I know it's not 1 out of 10, but I mean, just at the time, I was like, even if it's 1 out of 10, I don't see how you can lock the world down. It's not like everybody's dying from it. It's just 1 out of 10, which is still a lot. I mean, considering that we're locking it down because like 1 out of maybe 1,000 die of it, and that 1 in 1,000 happens to have a comorbidity. So anyway, I would never fathom that anyone would think that it was okay to lock down over this. But anyway, it's really weird to watch how those friends of mine who didn't want to shut the borders down and was like, call me a racist, are now suddenly like, oh no, we shouldn't have anything open. Everything's gonna be locked down. It's like, well, I guess they're the xenophobes now, and they're the racists, and I'm not because I don't want it locked down. So they got to be the racists, right? Because remember, that's how it was. There's this like clip of Democrats give bad coronavirus advice. It was like super cuts. You can look it up. If someone wants me to play it sometime, just tell me in a live stream. But anyway, it's got all these Democrats saying, from Bernie Sanders to Nancy Pelosi, saying, no, everything's totally fine. We should leave everything open. And, they were calling Donald Trump a xenophobe for even considering locking things down. They were saying this all the way up into March, even like middle of March, saying this. And then once it got locked down, suddenly the Democrats are the ones that wanted the lockdown, so they say. And it's like they totally rewrote history. And Trump, even though he signed everything and declared the lockdown, somehow he's the guy not responsible for it. And so, I just watched this world go crazy. Now, I see this thing suddenly appear. This solution to the blockchain problems we got going on right now. And so I think it's a little calculated, a little fishy. I mean, I hope it's for the best. I hope they really want to just decentralize things and end censorship. I really hope that's the case. But I don't know. You got some big major players. And like I said, I currently have about 2 tokens of this product. So it's like I'm not, I'm not trying to, I mean, I'm kind of thinking about maybe I should get rid of it and sell it, but I started thinking about it after I bought it, but like how fishy everything is. And I'm like, I don't know. Like I kind of got mixed emotions even owning this token, even owning any tokens. I mean, to be honest, crypto seems kind of scammy to me overall. Like a lot of things about it, and you know, you have people bashing these people for owning Shiba Inu and Safe Moon and all that, but I'm like, isn't it all scammy? I know these are not the things people want to hear. People like hear these words. They're like, "Whoa, I'm leaving. Getting out of this chat." That's fine, but I'm just letting you know. I mean, like, in my opinion, and you'll hear this even from guys that are like, "Oh yeah, I'm trying to help you out, man. I'm just trying to help my crew of people in my group, you know." And then you got these like crypto guys, and they got their crypto groups. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to help you, my fam, um, and then it's like, but, and then they'll make this comment like, "Hey, man, you don't want to be the one holding the bag. Make sure you know you know when that thing goes up 20% that you sell, you know, and don't get left holding the bag when everything crashes." Well, wait a minute. Why is anyone holding a bag? What about the guy holding the bag? That seems kind of wrong. That seems kind of scammy to me. It's like, isn't this, I mean, is this cryptocurrency worth anything? Are these tokens worth anything? I mean, how does something like, see, I never understood it. I mean, it's like, doesn't it still have the same value? I mean, what's the value of these tokens? I know, man, I'm buying things and not knowing what the value is. All I know is Bitcoin is like a token that does, well, I mean, what does it do? See, I mean, at least things run. This actually does kind of have a value. Now, how much of a value? I don't know. But I mean, at least you can, like, this token provides a use case for this product. Whereas Bitcoin, I mean, what does it do? I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know what the difference between Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and Shiba Inu is. I mean, what's the difference between any of these? It's just a token. I mean, it like, you know, at least this, like Ethereum, okay, it's a network. You know, you got to do computations on it. You have to have people set up computers that help do the computations on the blockchain. That's why you have to have miners and everything, or else, you know, the network couldn't run, right? So, I mean, so like Ethereum's got a purpose. I can see why people would buy Ethereum. I don't know why people buy Bitcoin or why people think it's got a value. I think it's got a value because everyone pretends like it's got a value. And I don't know like why Ethereum's got a value to it. I mean, yeah, I understand, you know, well, if you do those transactions, but now it's like, it's not like the Ethereum, like the transaction's not worth what you're paying in Ethereum for it. What you got to buy for it. I don't know, man. I could have made a quicker video. It's kind of a rant. It's like, I don't know. I don't do very good in my streams anymore. I think I do better when people are actually sitting here chilling. Okay, so it's a not-for-profit scientific research organization based in Zurich, Switzerland, that oversees research centers in Palo Alto, San Francisco, and Zurich. So weird, man. I remember playing like a really old cyberpunk video game on Commodore 64 called Neuromancer. I just know that's like one of the places that was in that game. But anyway, so it's got teams in Japan, Germany, and the UK also, and across the United States. The foundation's mission is to build, promote, maintain the internet computer. It just seems so weird. The internet computer. Its accomplished team, which includes many of the world's top cryptographers and distinguished systems and programming language experts, with nearly 100,000 academic citations and 200 patents collectively, is committed to building advanced experimental technologies to improve the public internet. I mean, this stuff sounds great. The internet computer extends the functionality of the internet so that it can host back-end software, transforming it into a global compute platform. Using the internet computer, developers can create websites, enterprise IT systems, and internet services by installing their code directly into the public internet and dispense with server computers and commercial cloud services. Enabling systems to be directly built onto the internet is undoubtedly cool, but the internet computer is about more than this. Alone, it seeks to address serious long-standing problems that bedevil IT, including system security, and to provide a means to reverse and undo the ever-increasing monopolization of internet services, user relationships, and data, and restore the internet to its permissionless, innovative, and creative roots. I mean, like, that sounds good. So it says, for example, the internet computer hosts its native software within an unstoppable tamper-proof environment, making it possible to create systems that don't depend on firewalls, backup systems, and failover for their security. This framework also makes interoperability between different systems as simple as a function call and automatically persists memory, removing the need for traditional files, enabling organizations to dispense with standalone infrastructure such as database servers. These features enable internet software systems to be completely self-contained and address today's security challenges while dramatically reducing the exorbitant complexity and cost of IT. I don't know. I guess in my mind, I keep wondering, like, I mean, that sounds good. It sounds like they're trying to do something good. I just keep wondering if it's actually, like, it's still hard for me to believe that something like this could exist for our own good after what's happened the past year with all the governments seemingly working together to lock the entire world down over something like a virus that doesn't seem that deadly. But now I'm to believe that just out of the blue, right when Ethereum gas prices are at an all-time high, that this solution just happens to appear out of nowhere. Hey, we got the perfect solution, guys. And that also all the censorship that's occurring. Hey, bam, this, oh, hey, this sounds great. Right? I mean, it's really weird, man, like how this, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm real stupid and ignorant. I mean, I am a dumb newbie crypto guy, right? You know, as far as the whole crypto thing goes, I'm kind of stupid about it. I haven't like researched it for years. I didn't even know you could decentralize things, you know, and through blockchain. So, but I mean, it just, I just always wonder, man. Like, I mean, really, like why couldn't this be ready like a year or two ago? Before this lockdown. I mean, why is it only like ready to be presented right now? I mean, right during this whole Corona mess, right? I mean, or why isn't it not like ready later? I mean, like some of these things are just all coming together at the most calculated moments. It's like, the guy just happens to die who invented the PCR test. And then in the very following year, we got this whole corona outbreak, and they're using a PCR test, and people are accusing it of being used wrong. But hey, we can't go to the guy who invented it because he happens to be dead. We can't ask him questions. He just happened to die right before this happened. It's just like too many things, going on. And don't really make sense to me. See, I really wish I could have people commenting in the chat room, but this is what happens when you're like, I don't know, banned a billion times. Well, not a billion, 30 times, but it feels like a lot. And for people new to my crypto channel, yeah, I mean, this is kind of the stuff I talked about that would get me thrown off. Not that I was like, hey, this is how it definitely is. I'm just having a conversation, an open conversation with people. Like, hey, it looks like this to me, but what do you guys think? And that is worthy of banning. Like I said, that's the only reason why I ever got into all this crypto stuff. It's just to try to find a solution. And I don't know. I really would like to know, what do people think? Like, am I a little crazy, like going, hey, this seems weird. This seems weird that it was just happens to be rolled out right now. Internet computer. Just appears out of nowhere. I want to find. I mean, like, yeah, the past 2 days, I've heard quite a few people say, man, how does this company just come right out of nowhere and they're ranked number 8 in cryptocurrencies? Because, I mean, I never heard anyone bring them up, and I listen to a lot of different YouTubers in cryptocurrency, listen to a lot of things at like 2 times speed, so I can listen to everything going on and get as much information as possible, while I'm at work. And it's just like, man, to have $42 billion right off the bat, be ranked. You know what? And look at this. Did you see this? Number 8, and what's their little sign? I mean, do you notice that? 8 infinity, and then 8 infinity, right? That symbol. It's kind of weird. I mean, like, see, that makes me just think there really is something to this. Like this is not just me just being a little too conspiratorial. Like, I mean, hey, new viewer. I'm just talking about this new cryptocurrency called Internet Computer. And did you notice? Look, number 8 on the chart, but you see that their symbol is 8 also. Isn't that weird that they just appear out of nowhere? Right? Just out of nowhere. I don't know if I trust this. I mean, like, good grief. I wish people would comment, man. I got viewers and no one's commenting. I just like to know, man, like, do you find that odd? Or at least, if someone watches this in the I'm going to probably make a smaller, more condensed video. This is just something I'm doing random. But man, it's just weird. That just adds to it. Ethereum gas prices get too high. People are talking, complaining about it. and then solution, and then 8 and 8. You know, I think that's it. I think I'm done, man. Like, I don't know if I trust this, and yeah, I'm invested in it. And maybe if everyone watches my video and it's like, uh-oh, I'm just gonna make sure this one tanks and everyone hates it, and I lose, like, almost $1,000 I put into it. Hey, you know what? Okay, you know, I, I don't know. I'm just giving my honest opinion. Yeah, I invested in it, and yeah, I'm kind of like, wow, I don't know what to think of it. I mean, when I invested in it, like I said, I I just looked at the price of, like, Dogecoin. That's 64 billion, right? So so people are going to put that much into basically a meme coin, a joke coin. They're going to put, where's that Shiba Inu at? Like, okay, they got 11 billion in Shiba Inu, right? I don't know how much you got in Safe Moon and all these other ones. But I mean, does it seem too far out of the realm of possibility that these people, like, some of them go, hey, why don't I invest in some kind of real product? And same thing with these people who are buying Ethereum and Bitcoin. I mean, why own Bitcoin, which does nothing? I mean, everyone calls it like a store of value, but I don't get the value of Bitcoin. Why wouldn't you just sell your Bitcoin and buy a real token that actually has a purpose, a function, and a value? Right? So I'm just seeing all these people move from Ethereum and Bitcoin and see all these billions. And once they start pouring into this, suddenly that 343 that you bought that token for, I mean, you just have even a piece of that Ethereum pouring into here. That's going to go up to 1,000 in no time, right? So, I mean, that was like my educated guess. Like, hey, if this goes up to 200 billion, which is what it should be, at least, well, to go up to 200 billion would make that 5 times 3. So it'd be about $1,600, right? So that one token's up to 1,600. And considering, like, this looks like the Ethereum killer, or it looks like a coin that's more important than Bitcoin, this is probably like the most important coin on this whole list. Yet this one's sitting at $1 trillion and this one's only sitting at 42 billion. Okay, if this is actually a good project, well, it looks like an awesome project. But what I mean is, if these are actually, like, good people, and, like, they're actually, looking to free the world with their blockchain technology, it really seems like Bitcoin's a little overvalued and they're a little bit undervalued. There's a reason why people say that in 2 years, the internet computer might be the #1 coin. And all I'm saying is, it's just really weird that they're number 8. They come out of nowhere. They appear on this list as the number 8 coin when their symbol is also the infinity symbol. So I'm going to listen a little bit more of what these guys had to say. These are part of the team.
Years have seen this pitch, web speed, blockchain, dozens of times, but really the rabbit holes go so deep into the Divinity project. And so this pitch, I think, is the best way to get all of the functionality with all the crazy nuances that go on underneath it all. And it's a wonderful pitch. And the fact that it is a web speed blockchain, it's pretty much the only one that lives up to the truth of this pitch. So it's pretty inspiring, and yeah, awesome opener.
Very cool. Nice.
Next, we're going to dive into the Motoko programming language, which is the native programming language of the Internet Computer and created by Andreas Rosberg,
Yeah.
who is the co-creator of WebAssembly, who we'll hear from right now.
Mm-hmm.
Definity's new programming language for the Internet Computer. And I'm also one of the co-creators of WebAssembly, the new code format that runs in all your browsers nowadays. If you're a programmer who is familiar with the common breed of mainstream programming languages like Java, JavaScript, or C#, then you should feel familiar and at home pretty quickly with Motoko. In particular, we took out all the special knowledge that you might need to have on other blockchain programming languages. None of that is needed with Motoko. You can just use it as if it was an ordinary programming language. The Internet Computer adopts WebAssembly as its virtual machine, which means that there aren't that many languages available yet. That is independent of what the platform actually is, what hardware you're running on.
Yeah, so that's a really inspiring speech for me, particularly. If you look into the depths of like web development and the history of its development throughout the internet, you realize there was so many different standards competing and different programming languages that were completely inaccessible, and it was never really considered to be a fancy job or a sexy job to be a web developer in 2021. But here we are, and we have this global standard that all the biggest companies in the world that have browsers have compiled. Andreas Rosberg
Yep.
is the co-creator of it. It's WebAssembly, and it's basically a universal language for everything, every application that is written in web browsers. So for me personally, I'm learning Motoko. It's one of the coolest syntax that I've seen, because it's very obscure and it's not what I'm used to, but it's the fact that you can literally it's accessible to program a blockchain application for pretty much anyone who's familiar with the most basic web development programming languages. And it all compiles in a universal language that is WebAssembly. And yeah, this is the first time like anyone could really program a blockchain application.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah. So this next up, you want to explain?
Yeah, next up we have CanCan, which is a Definity's open version of TikTok. So we're gonna have a nice cat video.
Yeah, this is their little demo.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We introduce a new concept in this iteration called super likes. You incentivize your users to ride the hype train. In CanCan, we've set it up so that each user is allowed 10 super likes per 24-hour period, tracked by the CanCan service, written in Motoko.
Okay, yeah, so as we already mentioned, this is
Okay, I'm not going to bore people too much with it. Oh, hey, Media Bear. Oh, hey, man. How's it going, man? Yeah, dude, I'm just kind of doing like a random show. Just because I don't know if you caught the earlier part of it, man, but one thing I will show you, I don't know if you can even see it. You might be driving a car or something. But man, there's like I just got into crypto, right? Like I knew about as much as you knew a couple of months ago. I remember you had like some people on your show or people in your chat rooms, saying, hey, do you get into crypto? And you're like, no. And so it's like, I know you're not very familiar with it. And I was about the same exact familiarity. I've been watching hours and listening to hours of things at 2 times speed for the past month, probably about 8 hours a day, while I'm at work and around the home and everything. But so I'd say, man, I probably listen almost close to 20 to 30 something hours a day just because I listen to everything at 2 times speed. But I noticed this one token that came out, and it just came out of nowhere, man. Like most of the time these things are listed at like, maybe if they got some financial backing, maybe they might be 250 on the list or 1,000 on the list. Most of them, when they get released, it's like 2,500. Here's this thing, man. It just gets released. This token just gets released, and it hits number 8. They're an affinity symbol, right? And then it's just like they're an 8 right next to it. I noticed like that is just too weird. And like I mean, pretty much I know like what my thoughts are about all of last year happening. And then it's like this is just more on top of it, man, where I just feel like more is scripted. Like everything is scripted. Like this is just too weird that like right at the height of everyone also complaining about Ethereum and gas fees being too high to use their blockchain, and then they come out and they're like a solution to it. It's like, I mean, that's basically what the only thing about my video was really about, man, was just kind of like looking into this group live. I'll probably do like a quicker video where like I break it down and like, I can probably break down some of the main key points in like maybe 5 to 10 minutes. But I was just like, I don't know, I was just hoping to see a few people on, and actually you were like the first person to comment. I've had like about, I don't know, about maybe 6 or 7 people watching, and but when no one's commenting, I just was wondering, like, like how weird is that? I mean, they sound good, man. It sounds like, everything we complain about, the censorship, it sounds like they want to get rid of it. And, you look into it and it's like they want to decentralize everything, and decentralization, it seems like, oh, that's like the way to do it. You decentralize it. You make things to where you can't censor them as easy or at all. And they do mention that, and on their webpage. I'm just always skeptical when it's backed by this much money, and all these people, and like the government just lets it be rolled out right after the government also basically locked down the entire world. All the world's governments went along with it, and now I'm just thinking like, oh, these guys can just roll out like this. Like, I always wonder, man, if they got a way of decentralizing everything, which it sounds like decentralized control, decentralized and less control. But I also wonder, did they already think, a step ahead, and it's like decentralization actually equals more control because they're just decentralizing. I don't know, man, like what makes up the web, and they got some other thing. But anyway, I'll just let it go at that. I just kind of want to bring that to people's attention, just some of the weird things I saw, like in that video, like those guys, when you look at their shirts, like, I mean, to me that looks like an owl. And then you think about, like, what is it, oh, I can't even think of that one place. It's got like the owl, the biggest statue of the owl, and Bohemian Grove. I'm just like, is that kind of like that? Because that sure does look like an owl's eyes and that little pointy nose that an owl's got. I mean, I gotta make sure, like, yeah, like those ears and everything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they like, yeah. That's it, man. That's all my thoughts. Just the weirdness of it, And then it's like, Bill Gates has that whole, what is it, WO 606. Oh, 60606, something like that. Yeah, I mean, this is right off the patent page. It's like, this isn't off of some conspiracy theorist webpage. Right? Cryptocurrency system using body activity data. And I remember some of these people were working with Microsoft. These are like your biggest people. Tell me, like, like all these big names, like there might not be some kind of cross connection here with this WO to see WO 2020 060606. Like, yeah, it's a Microsoft technology licensing, and that's their patent. Human body activity associated with a task provided to a user may be used in a mining process of cryptocurrency system. A server may provide a task to a device of a user which is communicatively coupled to the server. A sensor communicatively coupled to or comprised in the device of the user may sense body activity of the user. Body activity data may be generated based on the sensed body activity of the user. The cryptocurrency system communicatively coupled to the device of the user may verify if the body activity data satisfies one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system and award cryptocurrency to the user whose body activity data is verified. I wonder when they came out with this patent. Or when do they apply for it? Oh, here it is. So they filed it June 20th, 2019. They just happened to file this the year before this whole outbreak thing happens. I mean, I just wonder, how did they get that perfect publication number, 2020 060606? They go on. Oh, anyway, that's it. I mean, I'm just going to be rambling now.